Hey, welcome to practice. Today we're going to work on two areas of the body that cause a lot of stress and tension, can sometimes hinder our sleep when we're gripping in our hips and our shoulders and our neck. So we will work on releasing them in a nice, easy way. We begin just sitting down onto the butt, bringing the feet out in front in a V shape, leaning back on the hands, and just gently starting to windscreen wiper the legs from side to side. So sometimes when we hold a lot of stress and tension in the body and in the mind, when we come to a mat to slow down, it can be really challenging. You can fidget, feel impatient, because your body is so used to being on edge that when we try to access that slower side of our nervous system, we can't. We're not trained to do it because we have been trained to be on edge and highly aroused all the time in our nervous system. So I find sometimes when we do a little bit of movement before we start to settle, it can get rid of some of that pent-up tension and energy and just make the class more effective. Do a couple more of these. Notice if you're feeling anything in your hips, particularly when you move to external rotation, the legs going out to the side. When we sit in chairs all day long or drive, we can become quite stagnant around the hips. This is a place where we hold a lot of our emotions. Okay, wonderful. Start to settle and bring the legs in front in a simple cross-leg position, keeping the ankles or the feet flexed. And this way, we know the opening is coming from the outer hips. You can manually rotate the thighs slightly. Depending on the openness of the hips will be where the knees sit. Well, I actually have got quite tight hips, and so my knees aren't particularly flat to the floor. But during the course of a class, as I start to release and surrender, they open a little bit more. So come into this comfortable seat, and I like to take a block. Spine is tall, shoulders are relaxed, and start to lean forward, tipping from the hip crease over these bent legs. So already I can feel a pretty juicy stretch going on in my outer hip here, which is the leg that is in front. You may notice the same. Just breathe into it. Maybe close the eyes. Sometimes when we tune out one of the senses, it enables us to feel a little bit more in the body, become an observer of what's actually going on. Nice even breathing. A deep inhale and an exhale. You may find you surrender a little bit more to the earth. Never worrying about how far forward you come. Everybody's body is different. We all hold different stories, different tension patterns. We've had different experiences in life, and these all shape how our bodies are. Take one more breath here. And then inhale, slowly come up. Whatever leg is in front, rotate towards the opposite knee and start to tip over that. So again, not worrying how far forward you come. Maybe you can feel it pretty intensely in this opposite hip. I know I can. Just practice patience and tenderness with yourself. Tuning into the breath, just acknowledging the sensation and accepting it. Then inhale, slowly come back up. Wonderful. Change the cross of the legs. So often when we change the cross, there's a different story on the other side. Inhale, taller out the spine, and again leaning forward from that hip crease, coming over the legs, sitting deep into the hips, keeping the feet flexed, breathing, maybe closing the eyes again. Enjoying these stretches and these moments on the mat. It takes a lot to come to the mat and be still and quiet when you lead a hectic life. So the fact that you're here now, you're doing so much good for yourself, calming that nervous system, calming the body, calming the mind. And inhale, slowly come up. Rotate to the opposite side from the leg in front, and again coming over, using the breath, being patient with yourself, and being compassionate as well. Take one more breath. On an inhale, slowly come back up. Rotate back forward, wonderful. Unlock the legs, and again we'll do a little bit of windscreen wipering. Just observing how you feel. Do you feel pretty alive around that hip joint? Maybe it's created some sensations that you haven't felt for a while. And then come to pause. Wonderful. We're going to sit cross-legged again. I'm actually going to sit up on a block because this way enables my spine to stay tall. So we always want the spine to be tall, and this allows freedom of breath. Folding the legs in. This is known as accomplished pose, where you line up the heels at the pubic bone. And as I say, when you have the hips higher than the knees, you get this nice, tall, straight spine, and you're not fighting to stay upright. So it allows you to feel relaxed in the body and focus on other things rather than just trying to keep your spine straight. We'll start with a little bit of a body scan. Now we've got some freedom in the hips. Bring the palms face down. I invite you to close the windows of the eyes. Center in on the breath. Take a big, deep inhale. And an exhale. Bring your awareness to your feet, where they are in contact with the earth and in contact with each other. The sensation of skin on skin, maybe skin on your yoga mat, or if you're practicing on carpet, what that feels like. And move the awareness to the shins. And then to the knees, perhaps the sensation of the weight of your hands on the knees. With your hands, the sensation of either your skin or your yoga pants, your jogging bottoms, whatever you're wearing, maybe pajamas even. What is the sensation of that against the palm of your hand? Now bring your awareness up the thighs towards the hips and to the sitting bones. What is the sensation you're feeling? Are you sitting on something soft or a yoga block? Maybe a couple of hardback books if you don't have yoga blocks. They all do the same thing. Now bring your awareness to the belly. Is it relaxed? Is it inflating and deflating as you breathe? And bring the awareness up the spine, into the chest, to the heart space. Can you feel your lungs expanding as you inhale and then decreasing as you exhale. Try to breathe outwards with the chest rather than as you inhale, lifting up. Feel the expansion coming forward out of the body. Now bring your awareness to the tops of the shoulders. Now whole shoulder area. Are you gripping? Is it relaxed? What can you feel there? Are your shoulders rounding forward? Or are they going towards the back body? Now bring the awareness down the arms, towards the elbow, back to the palm of the hands. Again, noticing what your skin is in contact with, how it feels. Then start to bring your awareness to the neck and to the jaw. Is your jaw relaxed? Are you gripping your teeth? How about the tongue? What's the tongue doing? Is it relaxed in the bottom of your mouth, or are you pressing it towards the roof of your mouth? Now to the face, the lips. Do you have a nice sweet smile? I hope so. To the cheeks, to the eye sockets. What are your eyes doing behind your eyelids? Then to the eyebrows and the forehead. Is it relaxed and smooth, or are your eyebrows raised? Do you have a frown? And then to the scalp. And then bring your awareness to the space above the head, above the crown. Imagine a bright white light there. Imagine you are bathing in this white light, full of fresh energy. Take one more breath. And then slowly open your eyes. Wonderful. Feel pretty chill after that nice body scan. Work on a little bit of shoulder mobility. If you like, you can release the legs. We've been sitting there for a while. Just get some blood flowing, and you can still stay elevated on a block and keep your legs crossed, or maybe you want to come and sit on the block. Give those hips a little bit of a break and sit in this position. Nice tall spine again. You can sit with the seat directly on the earth. It does involve a little bit of mobility in the hip area, like just to sit like this. We don't have to make life difficult for ourselves every day. Okay, bringing the arms out to a T, we'll just start to rotate the arms backwards, feeling the movement coming from the upper arm bone in the shoulder joint. And then gently forwards a couple of times, remembering to breathe and the spine nice and straight. Now bring the fingertips to the shoulders, and again, we're moving backwards. Imagine you've got a paintbrush on the end of each elbow and you're drawing a circle. And then we go the other way. Excellent. Bringing the palms down, and I'll mirror you here. So taking your left hand, we'll sweep this across the front of the body and do a full arm circle and back down the other side. With the right hand sweeping across the body, opening this armpit and down the other side. This time with the left hand again, take your gaze to the left fingertips, and as you sweep across, keep an eye on them. Come back down to the other side. And again with this one, the right hand, looking at the fingertips, sweeping across the body, coming all the way up and over and bringing it down. Wonderful. Give your shoulders a little shrug, a little circle, a couple of times backwards, then forwards. And then allow the palms to rest in the lap. Excuse me. We'll work on the neck. We hold a lot of tension here. First of all, starting to look over the left shoulder and then to the right. A few times in each direction, slowly and mindfully, not rushing. And then if it's okay, we'll come to the center and dip the chin towards the chest. And then if it's okay with your neck, looking up slowly, stretching out the front of the throat. And then back down. I can really feel that when I look up in my throat area. This is where we hold our self-expression. Maybe if you don't express yourself, there's a lot of tightness here. And then we'll come back to center. Wonderful. Now we'll work on some neck circles. So bringing the chin down very gently. If this is okay, start to tip the head towards the left shoulder and then round in a circle, super duper slowly, and come back down the other side. We'll do 2 more in this direction. So as you're doing this, you may hear some snap, crackle and pops, which is perfectly normal. Neck starts to sound a bit like bubble wrap. And then when you've completed 3 in that direction, we'll do 3 in the other direction. And then return to center. Just pause for a moment. You might feel a little bit dizzy. Maybe close the eyes. Breathe deep. Center yourself, ground yourself. Notice the connection with the earth, with your feet or your shins or your sitting bones. This is a really helpful technique. Anytime you feel a bit anxious or flustered, come down to where you are in contact with the earth and bring your awareness there. And immediately you can feel grounded. We'll do 1 more stretch here in this position, bringing the right fingertips out to the side, lifting the left arm up, and then gently tipping over to that right side, keeping this left sitting bone grounded, reaching long out the side of the waist. You can keep your head facing forward, or if it is better for you, you can look down at this hand. We want to feel this stretch and this opening all down the left side body, opening all those little intercostal muscles in the ribs, helping us breathe better. And then inhale, come up, and we'll go over to the other side, so grounding the left fingertips, right arm up to the sky, and leaning over to this left side, keeping that right sitting bone grounded, maybe looking down. So although these stretches may seem pretty basic, basic is good, because they really get to the root of our nervous system and how we're feeling. We don't have to do anything kind of crazy or fancy to feel the benefit. Okay, wonderful. We'll now come off the block and work on a little bit of spine work. Come to your hands and knees. Knees are directly underneath the hips, hands are directly underneath the shoulders. The feet can just be relaxed, and on an inhale, the belly dips and the chest lifts, the head comes up. This is known as cow. And as you exhale, feel the movement coming from the belly and the lower back, rounding the spine. And then you dome the shoulder blades and allow the head to come down. for cat. A few more of these in time with your breath. So as you inhale, we come up for cow. As you exhale, round in for cat. Taking the time to move slowly and mindfully, noticing the articulation of the spine, what's happening when you move through these movements. One more of these in time with your breath. And exhale, round. And then return to a neutral spine. From here, we'll do some spinal rotation, grounding down into the left hand. On an inhale, the right arm comes up to the sky. And as you exhale, thread this underneath the left arm. Bring the right shoulder down, right ear to the floor. And breathe here. So hips are pretty neutral. Leaning into this right shoulder, you can extend the left fingertips forward. Breathing deep. Feeling the twist coming from the mid-back. Gently replace the left hand where it was, underneath the shoulder. And on inhale, the right arm comes back up to the sky. And the hand comes down. Wonderful. Side B. Inhale the left arm up to the sky. And as you exhale, rounding through, thread the needle, allowing the left ear to come to the floor. You can extend the right hand in front. Breathing. Enjoying this twist. Maybe closing the eyes. Then place the right hand where it was, underneath the shoulder. And inhale the left arm up to the sky and down to the earth. Wonderful. Bring the knees as wide as the mat, big toes touching, and sit the seat back to the heels and the arms extend in front, and bring the forehead to the earth. If this is a little bit challenging, you can always stack the palms. Place the forehead there. Allow the belly to drape between the thighs. Breathe deep. Sitting into those hips, feeling a gorgeous stretch in the lower back. And inhale, slowly come up. And we'll make our way onto the back for a little bit of hip opening. First of all, point the knees up to the sky with the feet flat to the earth. Allow the hands to face up towards the sky. And bring the insides of the feet together. Then allow the knees to fall open into this butterfly shape. The soles of the feet then come together. And if this is straining your groin a little bit, if you've got blocks, you can place them underneath the outside of the thighs just to give them a little bit of support, or you can even use your fists to do so. Otherwise, you can place the hands on the belly or leave the palms facing upwards. And just settle here for a moment. This is a great way to open the hips up in a gentle way, allowing gravity to descend down on the inner thighs, the inner knees. A really gentle opening. Take one more breath here. And place the hands on the outside of the thighs, push them together. Keeping the right foot grounded on the floor with the knees pointing to the sky. Lift the left leg up Then externally rotate the thigh so your knee is pointing out to the left. Flex the left foot and hook it over the right knee. So this is a figure 4 shape. In this position, your hips are facing upwards like the hip bones, and the movement is coming from the hip joint. The leg is extending out. Keeping the left foot flexed, this protects the knee and ensures that you're not compensating with the ankle, and it is the hip that's externally rotating. You can even move it gently, just using the strength of your leg rather than your hands. Move it backwards and forwards as if it's a wing. And this really helps get into the outer hip. This is a wonderful somatic movement. And then keeping the knee out to the side, you can stay there, or if you want to explore another layer, lift the right foot off the floor and use the strength of this right thigh to bring this whole figure 4 shape towards the torso. I like to hold on to my flex foot as if it's a rudder, and the other hand maybe on the knee, and just allow this shape to come in. You can even rock gently backwards and forwards. When we experience rocking motions in the body, it's very soothing for the nervous system. If you think about babies when we rock them, it's a very nurturing and soothing action for the body to experience. Then come to settle in the position that feels good. Maybe you are just sitting on the edge of challenge with the position you settle in, feeling a stretch, not discomfort, but a challenge. Definitely not pain. And then gently release that leg, maybe stretch it out up to the sky, and then we'll bring it down to the earth, side B. Bringing the right leg up, externally rotating the thigh, keeping the right foot flexed, hooking above this left knee, and then again maybe moving this like a wing, using the strength in the hip joint and the leg to move it, exploring your range of motion. If you sit a lot at a desk, then you might find this quite challenging. We don't really naturally do an external rotation movement in everyday life, unless we're doing our yoga practice. Then another layer you can explore is using the strength of the left thigh to bring the shape towards the torso, keeping that foot flexed. And maybe rocking backwards and forwards gently. Getting some movement in this hip area. And then just start to settle for a moment, breathing into where you can feel any tension. Then gently release. Just knock the knees together, feet as wide as the mat. This is known as constructive rest, and it's a pretty therapeutic pose to do. It relaxes the psoas, which is the hip flexor that links the thigh bone all the way through the pelvic girdle to the sides of the spine. It is known as the muscle of the soul. It's a pretty intuitive muscle. And from here, we'll bring the knees up into the chest, give them a little squeeze, and allow the arms to come into a T shape or a cactus. Bring the knees directly above the hips, so this is known as tabletop, and then gently allow the knees to fall over to the left side of the body. In a twist, lift the head off the floor, and if it feels okay, rotate towards the right side. Feeling this twist, maybe your eyes are closed. Noticing where you're feeling it in the body. Is it in that right outer hip? Is it in the shoulders with this cactus position? And gently back to center. When we go over to the other side, allowing the legs to fall, lifting the head and looking over that left shoulder. Nice even breathing. Does this side feel different to the other? Gently return to the center line. Hug the knees in, give yourself a little squeeze. And then we'll release into final relaxation. Gently allow the legs to extend, feet flopping open. Palms are up to the sky, shoulders are snuggled down the back of the neck is long and the chin is slightly tucked. No muscle engagement anywhere. You can close the eyes if they're not already. Allow the tongue to relax in the mouth. Allow the face to relax. Allow your hair to relax, your scalp. Deep relaxation. I'll close class here. You can stay here for as long as you like. I recommend at least a few minutes. And thank you for practicing. And I'll see you in the next class. Have a good day.